Hey there, Cheesemeisters, and welcome back to the Peach Pod After Dark. I am Jeff, and no wolf. No wolf? No part. Huh? And joining me on the other end of the internet, my cuz-host.
I'm Leslie, and I can't do this all by myself.
You don't have to. We're here.
Thank God.
Yep. I mean, we may have to talk about it, but that was hand acting. That is the shit that Gil Myers only wished he could do with his hands.
That is someone who has worked with a specific type of director,
Uh-huh.
and I approve of his interpretation.
Yeah, I read there's a trivia bit on IMDb where like apparently that performance is based off of his high school drama teacher. It's like a real person.
We know something about high school drama teachers here.
Yeah, it felt like a real person. Yeah. Anyway, Cheesemeisters, this week we are discussing Teen Wolf, the 1985 Hormone. Everybody got him. What do you think? Masterpiece, written by Jeff Loeb, directed by Rod Daniel, starring Michael J. Fox, James Hampton, Susan Ursitti, Jerry Levine, Laurie Griffin, Mark Arnold, Jay Tarsis, as maybe the greatest coach in the history of sports on film. We will discuss. We are watching this with in conjunction with Season 4, Episode 7, Moving Targets. Our spelling connection, and the whole reason we're watching this episode is because of Scott Paul and Professor Randall himself being this wonderful drama teacher. And also, much to my surprise, Doug Savant from Melrose Place is one of the basketball players I wanted to call him Marty, and that's going to be a thing. Scott's team.
Okay.
Yeah. So, this is an interesting one for us Cheesemeisters because it is a departure in that we watched this movie together in the same room.
Hell yeah, we did.
So normally that's not how this works. We are living in different places, but we happen to be in the same place. So we decided to experience this thing together. I've seen this movie about a jillion times. You have seen this movie never. So I'm going to spoil it for everybody because Cheesemeisters, this is what Leslie said when the movie was over. That wasn't good, was it? And I was like, no, not really. No, this movie's not really very good.
I was about to be like, yeah, Jeff, what do you think? How do you think I liked it?
No, I know how you liked it. And I'm not saying you're wrong, but I was entertained by your response to it, and also not at all surprised. Like, I didn't think that this was going to land in your sweet spot. So, this movie is cheesy. It is, it's ridiculous. It's got the worst basketball that anyone's ever put on film, and I'm including everyone you know who has filmed their third graders YMCA team. Like, this basketball is worse than that. It's worse than the basketball where the one little kid picks up the ball and leaves the court. And refuses to come back. And when he does come back, he stands in the corner like this.
Yep.
The basketball in this movie is worse than that video that you saw. That everyone saw. I'm making that video up, but we've all seen a version of that.
It does exist. Like, you may be making it up, but it doesn't take away from the fact that it has happened.
Yeah, I just didn't want everybody to be like, "Oh shit, I got to go Google this video." I'm like, no, I'm not.
Oh,
This didn't appear on what I lovingly refer to as the crotch program, which is America's Funniest Home Videos, where people just get it crotch over and over again. This was not an America's Funniest Home Videos winner, but it's happened about a bajillion times. So, I'm wondering like there's so many things that I would say are not great about this movie, but what about it comes to mind first when you think this is kind of a mess?
Oh boy. It just not a great story. Like
Mhm.
if you're looking for any, like if this draws you in because ooh, werewolves,
Mhm.
fantasy, don't come watching this.
Yeah.
There is nothing. If anything, it totally just takes a dump on werewolf lore and says, "Fuck that. We just wanted to make something silly." Um,
Mhm.
Also, it's the 80s. Women are just meant to be pretty and annoying. So we're going to be like, of all the things we've watched, I think this one might have bugged me the most for how they wrote the women, what
Mhm.
they did with the women. Um, and I mean, they even have like, I'm gonna say it. She's very pushy. His friend Boof, which
Uh-huh.
we'll get to that name later.
Oh.
Yeah, when I looked up, oh yeah, we'll just get to it later. And what else? Remind me. But she was very pushy. She was like the ducky of this. But
Yeah.
and you know, like we're supposed to want them to be together, but I didn't. Like she kept pushing him to be with her, and they're clearly not interested in each other.
Mm.
Or he's not interested in her. Let's see if this works now. Oh,
How's it
something happened. Oh, music is playing. That's interesting. Hold on. That's perfect music, actually. Can you hear it?
No. Is it win in the end?
No, it's music
We're
from when we
gonna
did
win in the
Dracula. Where's
end.
this playing? This is really
Oh,
funny.
god damn it.
That's
It's a
so funny.
Universal Monsters theme song in your head.
It's called Too Many Monsters, and it's from Penny Dreadful because we stole the soundtrack from Penny Dreadful. Thank you, hon.
Oh, nice.
That's really funny. I kind of hope that plays on there
It
because if it,
didn't, but yeah.
damn it, that would have been so cool. Anyway, yeah, let's see. I said I didn't like the story because it
Yep.
just
And the
no
way that they use
fantasy.
the women
The way that they
and
use the women, um, this was 80s garbage. Like this made me so thankful I missed the 80s. Like I
mm,
only got to experience it for 6 months where nothing could happen to me that happened in this film.
well, nothing. Okay, that's not true. Lots of things that happen in this film happen to real people all the time.
Really?
Just not the werewolf parts. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So, okay, none of what you said is wrong. But let's dig into it a little bit. So, what this movie is, Cheesemeisters, if you haven't seen it, is a werewolf story. Michael J. Fox plays Scott. He's um, a short white kid in Nebraska who works at his father's hardware store. Um, is on a terrible basketball team. Uh, is lusting after the hot blonde chick in school who's in the play, has a like a best friend growing up, a ducky who likes him and is, you know, she's not, she didn't hide it, like she's, but she doesn't, like, she's not super direct about it, but she's also like, everybody knows, Scott, that I'm into you, like, you know,
Yeah.
I know, like, we're on the same page here. um he's got a best friend, Styles, who's life of the party, um, and a little bit of a wild man, and clearly a Steve Sanders type, looking to just cash in where he can. And it turns out that Scott is a werewolf. Discovers this after a basketball game where they got their asses kicked. He like got one really long hair growing out of his chest, which is kind of
So
amazing.
gross.
Yeah,
So
it's
gross.
super thick. Um, and over the course of like 10 minutes, different scenes in the school, he's like, "Oh, I have werewolfism." Um, and and he's like, "Dad, you wouldn't understand." He's freaking out in the bathroom, full blown werewolf. Like, and he opens the door, and his dad is also a werewolf, but his dad's the cutest werewolf you ever did see.
Oh my god, he really is.
He just got like his werewolf thing. It's got a nice tight little beard, more salt than pepper.
Yep.
Just you just want to just grab those cheeks and kind of squeeze a cute little werewolf daddy. And Scott's like, oh no, how am I going to adjust to this new change in my body? It's about puberty, guys. This movie's about puberty. And so like he goes to the basketball game the next day and they're just getting their asses kicked because I don't know if I mentioned this, but they suck. Like it's him and Chubbs who is like when he's not stealing Pee Wee Herman's bike, he is like eating food while playing basketball.
Yep.
And his locker is full of just nasty food. The whole thing with Chubbs, I don't know, it's kind of subtle, is that he's fat. So in case you didn't pick up,
80s.
Chubbs is fat.
That's as bad, if not more so, than calling a character crutchy in Newsies.
Oh, it's pretty rough. Yeah. Although I prefer the nickname Chubbs. It's a better nickname than Crutchy.
Yeah.
You know, like I could see like having like, hey Chubbs, what's up? Like, but if I walked up to somebody and it was like, how you doing there, Crutchy?
Get whacked.
Like, that feels different. Well, yeah, you're gonna get hit with a crutch. Like I don't want that. But I don't know. Chubbs just works better as a nickname. But like this shitball basketball team is getting destroyed, and Scott hits the ground for a loose ball. Big crowd jumps on top of him. He turns into a werewolf, like not even as good a transformation as Bill Bixby into Lou Ferrigno Incredible Hulk transformations, which are awesome. They're the benchmark by which we do this. But like not nearly as good as Michael Jackson turning into a werewolf at the beginning of Thriller.
Hell yeah.
So, but he turns into a werewolf and he jumps up out of the middle of it. Go ahead.
I was just thinking, I'm pretty sure my high school production of Beauty and the Beast did a better transformation of the Beast into the Prince in the end than this movie did.
Well, I mean, in defense of this movie, in that regard,
no.
Yeah, in Gil's defense,
never.
There was like 25 years of hairy transformation technology improvements between when this movie was created and when you did a high school stage production of Beauty and the Beast.
That's fair, but I bet some would argue that our makeup did not look as good. You know what people should look up that does exist? You should look up high school productions Beast makeup and have a good chuckle at what high school productions come up with.
Oh, I mean, when you're working on a budget, you know.
Yeah.
You got to do what you got to do.
Exactly.
So Scott comes out of the pile of people, full-blown wolf. And you know what normally happens when someone becomes a werewolf?
People scream.
People scream, and someone gets their arm ripped off.
That didn't happen in Harry Potter and Prisoner of Azkaban, but okay, I'll go with it.
Coulda. I mean, you know, no, but people fucking died when Lupin out.
No, they died when Fenrir Greyback.
Well,
the one that's like, I'm okay with being a wolf and I'm going to use my powers to terrorize people. But Lupin never killed anyone.
I thought he killed like an animal or something, maybe not.
No, he fought with Sirius. This is a great digression. He fought with Sirius when Sirius transformed back into Padfoot. And he might have like scratched him up, but he didn't eat anyone or kill anyone.
Okay. So bad example of what normally happens when you turn into a werewolf. But you know what doesn't tend to happen when you turn into a werewolf? Dunking.
No.
Like, look, Scott is a mediocre basketball player. He's too short because he's Michael J. Fox. He's like 5'3". And his ball handling skills are passable. His free throw form is garbage. Like, he jumps when he shoots a free throw in high school, you guys. That's a move for fourth grade free throw shooting. Jumps. And proper free throw shooting form involves, because you want to simplify the motions, right? If
Yeah.
everything in your body is pointing where you want the ball to go, then there's a much better chance that that's where the ball goes. What you don't want is to release the ball and have your arm coming over here and your body twisted this way, because your body's pointed there and your arm goes there, and who the hell knows where the ball goes. When Scott releases it, it's like, it's a mess.
He's doing some basketball acting that doesn't need to happen.
I think that's the best he can do.
Okay.
I feel like Michael J. Fox just wasn't a basketball player. Much better skateboarder than a basketball player, even if it was a stunt double skateboarding.
Yeah.
But when he's a wolf, his ball handling skills are like Steph Curry warm-up drill ball handling skills. This guy dunks like Harold Miner, Baby Jordan. I went with a deep pull basketball player who was athletic.
Okay.
I don't want to, you don't ever want to compare like Werewolf Scott to Michael Jordan or something, or Dominique Wilkins. Like, that's disrespectful. Although I will say, shouts to Bill Simmons, who in his book of basketball compared Kobe Bryant to Scott in Teen Wolf a lot. Because there were periods in Kobe's career when he was a me first ball hog kind of guy, like, who you wouldn't be surprised to see steal the ball from one of his teammates because he just got bored waiting for him. Okay. And then other times in his career, he's a team player like Scott at the end. And so it's an analogy that works.
Got it.
But nobody is scared of this werewolf. Like, they're like, oh shit, werewolf on the court. And they're like, well, I read the same rule book that we had in Air Bud. And while there is no rule against a dog playing basketball, there is also seemingly no rule against a werewolf playing basketball. So proceed. And this, I don't remember what the score was when he wolfs out or wolfs up or wolfs it or wolf it, baby. Wow.
I think they said wolf out online.
He did. Well, he said the director tells him to, like, so wolf it or wolf out, wolf up, wolf wow me, like whatever he says. He says all of the things.
I think the reaction to a werewolf in this movie might be the least realistic part of it.
Yeah, no, I mean, in a movie filled with silliness, the fact that everybody's like, huh, look at that werewolf. Take it out. Check it out.
Coach is unfazed. Coach is just like, well, that's something I haven't seen before.
Yeah, but, I mean, that coach, we're going to have to spend a lot more time talking about that coach, because he is double Jeff's kiss, that coach.
Oh, my.
So he turns into a werewolf, and the whole town is like, you know what we got here? We got a werewolf. It's pretty awesome. Styles is like, money-making opportunity. We're going to sell some wolf t-shirts. Everybody's like, put the wolf in. Everybody's cheering for the wolf. This basketball team that, like, Boof and Scott's dad showed up to watch, and Styles, but he wasn't paying attention.
Yeah.
To any of the games. And then, like, there was, like, that other girl who was, like, with the dark hair, who I don't think got to talk.
Okay, the cool group watching him with shades, looking like they're the Pink Ladies or something. I loved that group. I needed more of that group. And, like, anytime they would cheer, they would be like,
yeah. We
afterwards, cool. Like, oh, we can't do that.
Yeah, we can't cheer for the werewolf because everybody else is. Ooh. He's too basic. You know, like they're hipster people. They, you know, like
we just come.
I would like the werewolf, but everybody likes the werewolf too much. So Boof likes Scott, and they even made out in the closet, which is something we're going to talk about. And but Scott's into this blonde chick, and so he's like, and even before he was like wolfing out, he was like, I think I might quit the basketball team because we suck, and if I join the theater department, I can, and it doesn't matter that she's dating a 35-year-old. I'm good. I got this.
Yeah.
God grant me the confidence of non-werewolf Scott.
Same.
Yeah, and but not the braggadocio of werewolf Scott. But he's like, I can do this play. So now that I'm a werewolf, I can fucking do the play. And so he's like playing a Confederate general or something. And everybody's like, wow, this guy's got the riz. And like so much so that Pamela, the hot blonde, is like, hey, we just had one rehearsal, but come on in here. And
the worst, I'm going to just say it right now. This is the worst intimacy we have seen yet.
Well, but how much intimacy have we seen involving a werewolf? Counterpoint.
It was bad. It should have been hot, or it should have made sense. One of the two.
Yeah. I will say that like 9-year-old me thought it was pretty hot. Like, I'm just saying, like 100%. I was like, I think she took her bra off and he saw her boobies.
Of course you did.
Yeah, I was pro everything about this sex scene.
Wow.
And then they go bowling, which is where the idea that bowling was sexy was imprinted in my brain.
Balls.
Because like the bending over, and then like he goes up to like show her how to do it, and he's like riding up on her, and they're looking at Mick, and they're like, yeah, we're bowling ball fucking.
Oh man.
And like that. This movie did a lot for me psychologically, apparently, when I was young. Yeah, it just had a bigger impact than one would have thought. And then there's like, then the principal is also like out to get Scott because he had a run-in with Scott's dad and mom. Like he used to like Scott's mom, and it was very much a Sirius and James and Lily situation.
Mm-hmm.
Very much, because like he even goes back to become the headmaster of the school. Like,
well, wait a minute. You mean Severus, James and Lily?
Severus. I meant Severus. Yeah.
Oh my god, I didn't know I was gonna be diving into Harry Potter lore today, but
I didn't either.
I'm always ready.
But here we are. I mean, but I'm not wrong, right? Like they got the two magically powered people, and even though this guy's magically powered too, like he's awkward, and he likes the girl, but the girl likes the guy, and stuff happens where the guy is mean to Principal Snape, and then Principal Snape grows up to try to take it out on James Werewolf's kid. Same story.
Well, and now I just realized why you think Lupin attacked someone. Because James saved Severus from one of Lupin's werewolf friends.
Uh-huh.
I don't remember how attacked he got, but I know that Severus was pissed that like, fuck, you saved me. And I hate you.
Listen, I think we just discovered that entire subplot of Harry Potter is based on Teen Wolf.
Probably. Like,
Mm-hmm. Yep. So there you go, everybody.
From one garbage opinion, from one garbage story to garbage opinions.
Uh-huh. Yeah. You know what? Here's what I say. If you're gonna steal from the best.
Oh boy.
And that's what fucking she did. She stole from Teen Wolf for that whole part. So that's going on. And he's like trying to take it out on Scott because he's mad. But then Scott's dad, James Potter, like at him, makes him pee his pants. Like, yeah, Snape pisses his pants, Principal Snape. And all this happens at a dance where like everybody is super stoked that the wolf shows up. Except for Boof, who's like, I'd like to go to the dance, but I want to go with Scott. I don't want to go with the wolf because the wolf, not for nothing, Scott, but the wolf's kind of a dick. And he's like, but I can't help it because everybody wants to see the wolf. What am I going to do? Let down my adoring public? Which I get it. Don't get me wrong. Like, got an image to live up to here. And he wolfs out again in the middle of the dance, even though he's trying not to be like angry wolf or whatever. And like they do a wolf dance, which is pretty great.
Thriller adjacent.
100%. And but he attacks Mitch, the 35-year-old boyfriend of Pamela, while Pamela is like in the background, just making nasty faces. I don't understand what her goal in this whole situation is.
Just to make face be, I mean, again, they did nothing with these women. They gave them the basic. They were just like, this is what popular girls do. Just do this. This is what pick-me girls do. Do this.
Like, all right, Pamela. Like, she doesn't give Scott, Marty, the time of day. Harry Potter. There's a lot of people, this character. Doesn't give him the time of day until he hits puberty, right? And then she's like, oh, this hairy motherfucker has got something that I'm interested in. And she's like, I know I got a boyfriend who's hairy, but my boyfriend is Jim Walsh hairy, and I want Robin Williams hairy.
Oh my God.
And so she was like all in. But like she's like, we can fuck right after school. We can go bowling in front of my boyfriend. I can
but then I'm gonna ditch you.
Yes, immediately. Yeah, I'm gonna say, well, I don't blame him for being jealous. He's my boyfriend. And Scott's like, was? And she's like, no, he is. We're still together. I don't know what this was just some wolf fucking I had in me. I just,
It was so weird, and he did not seem annoyed enough that he had been used.
No, he wasn't annoyed at all. He was
just gave Michael J. Fox face, which is like, what?
Yeah. Huh? Sarge. He
To be clear, I love Michael J. Fox. I'm not making fun of him. I adore him.
So do we. No, you should look up. Everyone should look up David Spade's impression of Michael J. Fox in the movie Platoon. It's so funny. It's part of how he got SNL, I think. Was his impression of Michael J. Fox in the movie Platoon. So it's pretty dead on. But I lost my train of thought where we were.
I was going to say, we've taken 30 minutes to describe this movie, and it did not warrant 30 minutes.
No, it totally does. There's so much going on in this movie. And so Scott's like, I'm not going to be the werewolf no more. Which, because I lost control. I attacked Mitch, who's not quite as hairy as me, but also still pretty hairy. But Pamela, then she goes to the dance with her boyfriend, with Mitch, and is like, I love my boyfriend, Mitch. He's way better than you, Mr. Hairy Vampire Werewolf fella. And then they get in a fight, and like the whole place is like totally fine with Mitch sucker punching Scott.
Yeah.
Like Scott didn't do anything wrong here. Like he tried to avoid, he tried to walk away. Mitch attacks him. He gets up and all he does is like tear Mitch's shirt. It's like his move. And everybody's like, oh shit. Is it possible that a werewolf is dangerous?
Yeah.
Like mildly dangerous? Well, we don't want any part of that. So be gone, wolf team.
Before someone drops a house on you.
That's right. And then he's like, well, I feel like the only way that I can like fix all the bad stuff I've done as the wolf, which by my count is tore Mitch's shirt. And also became kind of a selfish basketball player. Like I went from being a nice best player on a shit team to an asshole best player on a good team. But it wasn't a good team. It was just that I'm good, and Chubbs kind of has a hook shot. It's a bad hook shot, but it goes in. Yeah. So he shows up and he's like, we're going to win in the end. In the end, we're going to win in the end. But we don't need the wolf. Even though the crowd is like, wolf, 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 wolf. And then they come all the way back as not the wolf. And the game's on the line. And Mitch fouls out by like just tackling Scott in the middle of the game. He should be ejected. Like, that's a ridiculous foul. Also, strategy wise, terrible foul. You're winning. You don't want to foul anybody in that circumstance. Just play good defense, Mitch. You don't have to foul. But Mitch fouled.
His masculinity is on the line, man. My girlfriend banged a wolf.
I know. And this is what's under that wolf costume. And I feel emasculated. Yep. So, no time left on the clock, but foul was called, so he gets to shoot 2 free throws to win the game. And look, I understand many of our Cheesemeisters might not be basketball fans. I know that you grew up in Indiana and your dad's a basketball fan, so you grew up around basketball, but I know you don't give a shit. Let me tell you what happened.
I would watch it. I watched it one night with you.
There you go. But let me tell you what happens when someone gets fouled and there's no time left on the clock. Usually a free throw shot is taken 15 feet from the basket at the free throw line, and people on both teams are lined up alternating along both sides, so that after the shot, if it's a miss, there's a rebound, ball's live, it's in play. But because if there is no live in play, after the ball comes off the rim, in this circumstance, because there's no time left on the clock, there's no reason to have anyone along the lanes to rebound. Mm-hmm. So they are removed. And they are put at the half-court line. Generally, they can get a little bit closer, but generally it's half-court behind the shooter, so that you're not distracting them in this circumstance. It's a weird way, same way technicals are done, or flagrant fouls. It's a weird way to shoot free throws because you're used to doing it with people like in your peripheral vision. It kind of adds pressure, but no one is allowed to stand directly under the basket and mean mug you the entire time you're shooting.
Right.
That is against the rules, but not in Teen Wolf. Like, they looked in the rule book and they were like, dogs can play basketball, werewolves can play basketball. Oh, addendum. You can stand under the basket at the end of the game and mean mug the guy shooting free throws.
I mean, just like with the werewolf lore, they did not care about keeping basketball done correctly as well. Like, someone just wrote this and did no research, and they just said, this is how it is. This is how basketball be. This is how werewolves be. This is how bitches be. Bitches. This is how the 80s be.
Uh-huh. No, this... So anyway, he makes the 2 free throws. They win. He walks past Pamela, who now wants to fuck Scott, who without werewolf attire. So maybe it's not the hairiness that she was into. It was success. And but he's like shoulders right past her and goes and kisses Boof. And there's a sweet soaring piano music playing. And things are better, I guess.
I don't know how.
Yeah. So, all right. So there are some things about this movie that I think are like ignoring the fact that this shouldn't be a werewolf story because it has nothing to do with werewolves.
Yeah.
But it does do some of the werewolf stuff. Like, the werewolf thing is always kind of an allegory for puberty, right? Sure. It's like you come into, your body changes, you get a lot hairier. For guys, your testosterone level shoots through the roof. You don't really know how to control all of your whatever that's going on in your body. You react strangely to things. You're very interested in sex, which was true before, but it's worse now. Like,
I don't
so
know anything about teenage boys or young boys. I don't know anything
but
about
you
boys.
were around them. You were around teenage boys, and you were like, "Oh, you got hairy and gross."
I really don't. It's fun because I can't say like I didn't notice boys. I was definitely boy crazy most of my younger life. Most of my life. What am I saying? But I don't recall noticing them getting hairier. They got smellier. They got more obnoxious. And they started paying even less attention to me. So that's what I noticed because I wasn't developing like a normal teen.
Gotcha.
Actually, you know what? No, I take that back. Teens develop how they develop. Like everyone's different.
You developed on your pace,
which is slow.
Yeah, it's a pace though. Keep going. So like it's about how like kids change when something like this happens, like hormones, like puberty. It's just, it involves being a werewolf. And it's about how people react to you when you change, and how your relationships with people change. And they highlight that here. Like Lewis is scared of him all of a sudden. Styles is like, money, 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 money. Like, I could totally cash in on you, David Silver, getting a record contract. I'll be your manager. By the way, Styles, much better manager than Steve Sanders at Sanders Management Group.
Yeah.
Like, Pamela becomes interested in him. Boof becomes like, Boof always liked him, and now she's like, I liked him before he was hairy.
Yeah.
And also, like, Scott, you're being kind of a dick. Like, she was the only one who could really tell him he was being kind of a dick, except for his dad. The principal goes from like tolerating him to like being antagonistic towards him. And Scott himself goes from being uncertain to being supremely confident.
Yeah.
And then he realizes that he's gone from supreme confidence to just horrible arrogance, and dials it back again.
Yeah.
So, like, I don't think that the story is as big of a mess as you think it is, because they do all of those things successfully. They tell those stories. The werewolf stuff is fucking ridiculous. Yeah. But the story at the heart of it is a teenage story. It's a coming of age story. So I think it works a little bit better as a story than you think it does. But
if it's just a coming of age story, definitely. Like, the allegory of it all is pretty shaky, but you're right.
Yeah. The other thing that I think that it addresses thematically is this idea of like, are you as you are enough? Or do you have to be the wolf? It's like, can Dumbo fly, or does he need to hold the feather?
Yeah.
And it turns out Scott doesn't need to hold the feather. He's enough as he is.
Yeah.
But he has to go through all of this to know that. So I think that stuff works.
Yeah. Yeah. No, I hadn't thought about it that way.
But it's a very silly movie where no one acts around a werewolf like someone would normally act around a werewolf.
No, I needed this to be part of Mystery Science Theater. Like, I need these guys to watch this film.
It's almost too easy for them to watch this film.
That's true, because the jokes they're just there. Like,
they're right there. Yeah. The one thing we haven't talked about, and we'll have to get into intimacy here real quick, but the one thing we haven't talked about is that the most dangerous thing Scott does as a wolf is reckless driving. And also, I mean, I'll save it. But the surfing through the town on the top of the van that first Styles does, and then Scott does, but with more panache. More handstands, lots of backflips. And I loved the sidewalk, the car surfing scene as a kid. I thought it was super fun. But it's weird. Like, it's real weird.
It's so weird. There's nothing remotely relatable about that happening. Like, I know kids do crazy shit, but it's just one of those things where I thought, okay, these writers are so detached. Like, stop trying to make fetch happen. This is not a thing. Like, I know teens surf on the subways, but
right.
I don't know. This just seemed more insane to me. And that's pretty nuts too.
It is. It's very unsafe, all of it.
Yeah, don't do it.
Don't do it. Do not drive a van while your friend is up on top of the van, and vice versa.
Kids, listen to Auntie Leslie here. I know you're bored. I don't know why you're bored, but I know you're bored. And you need life to be a bit more exciting. Just wait until you're an adult, and then things are always exciting because they're nerve-wracking. I promise. But also, don't rush that because it's terrible.
But also, like, if you need some more excitement in your life, just watch more Teen Wolf. There's even a sequel that I've never seen. Like, Jason Bateman's in Teen Wolf also.
Listen to Zombie Prom. It's a better high school movie or high school show about, some monster coming to a high school. Come on.
Well, I mean, watch Buffy.
Okay, there we go. See, we just
the werewolf stuff in Buffy is so much better than the werewolf stuff in Teen Wolf.
I'm pretty sure the werewolf stuff in anything else might be better than this.
It's very silly. Okay. Styles has pulled your name out of the hat, and it is your turn to lie about what boy is on your thing and explain the intimacy in the closet to us.
Oh boy. Oh.
Or the Jell-O intimacy, whichever Jell-O. I mean, hold the Jell-O!
Okay. I'm just going to cut right to it. The intimacy in this sucks. I hate any kind of love story they're trying to tell with this because they're trying to push they're trying to push an unconsensual or non-consensual love story. Boof loves Scott for reasons. Not saying he's not lovable, but he does not reciprocate that.
No.
Well, I mean, he's cute and they're good friends. But the movie is trying to push them together and convince us that they should be together. He doesn't reciprocate these feelings. So like we get the reverse. We get like a pushy girl in this scenario and it's not great. It's really uncomfortable. And then the whipped cream fights, the throwing Jell-O down a shirt, like it's all so derogatory and not even just that, it's pointless. All it was to stir up little 9-year-old boys like you. Like, again, things in the 80s.
It worked.
Well, I'm not saying good job. Like, acting like these things always happen. Do they probably happen? I can't say. Remember when I mentioned that I wasn't invited to those kinds of parties in high school? I have no idea what I'm saying. But I can theorize that it's probably not as common as Hollywood wants to make it seem.
I think that's true. Yeah.
Oh my God. It's just, there was a lot of
people who don't remember, just real quick to clarify sort of what happens at this party, because we didn't talk about it. Styles is like the MC, master of ceremony. He's got a top hat and every fucking thing. And there's a hat where like he chooses the girl, and then the girl reaches into the hat and draws out a name, and she draws out a name, and that name is who she has to go. They're going to have to do a thing together, whatever it is, and Styles chooses the thing, and it could be handcuffed shaving cream wrestling, or dumping Jell-O down a girl's shirt so that Chubbs has to eat it out of the shirt, or 2 minutes in heaven, get in the closet. So it could be any kind of thing. But I will say this. I know, right? get frustrated. I will say this in defense of this whole ridiculous scenario. Everyone involved has agreed to the rules.
Yeah.
Right? The girls and the guys, no one here is doing something against their will. They've all said, we're going to play this game and we're going to put Styles in charge, which is probably a terrible idea.
Yeah.
But Styles is in charge of whatever kind of gropery I get involved in tonight.
It's very much a team thing where like everyone is agreeing. It is all consensual, but you can't tell me someone's not going to have some regret the next day or later on, which is fine. You're allowed to have regret in life or not, however you choose to see that. But yeah, so they make out in the closet, and I found this really confusing. The story, okay. He gets aroused and the wolf is coming out, and like he accidentally hurts her, and we don't see until she leaves that like her shirt is just shredded. And I thought, okay, I couldn't tell that he was turning into a wolf. Like there needed to be something more. It was too subtle. I don't know. He could have growled or something, or she could have said ouch. Like, I don't know. Right. They could have played up the comedy there. It was just awkward because there was no care in this at all. I'm going to skip ahead to Pamela and him boinking in the dressing room. First of all, there was a moment, Cheesemeisters, when where I stood up and almost walked out. when they're in the dressing room and she goes, we're one big family in theater. And one, weird come online. Two, no. Just no. That's when I know I'm no longer in a good ensemble. When someone busts out the line that we're all a family here. Okay. I won't go into this now. There's no time. But anyway, so she is wearing a towel over a bra, and I'm like, that's not how that works. Anyone who's tried to put on a bra right after a shower, not fun. It's very convoluted. It's as convoluted as trying to take one off after a workout. It just, why? Sticky. Why would you put on a bra and then a towel? Like, so I found that odd. Again, also, her come online was odd. Like, ooh, do you have some... If you think that family does this, we need to find you some help. And, like, the director also is touching her in weird ways that no male teacher should touch any student. Actually, not even just men. No teacher, no touching students.
There you go. Hands off.
Yeah. Trying to save you your job.
Hands off. Hands off. Save your hands for no wolf. Huh?
Yeah.
No part.
And her, I mean, maybe the bra under the towel was just so they could get the shot of her taking her bra off and her being backless. The underwear also clearly didn't fit. It looked like there was nothing sexy.
She had I think she might have had a little poop in there.
It was baggy as shit.
She had some baggy jaws.
Yeah, it just wasn't good. I mean, I just wrote backstage bang, ick. You know, it's the woman getting more unclothed than the man, and it was. I mean, yes, he consents to it, but it just wasn't good storytelling. It just felt like 80s porn. This is how we get people now. And it's featured in the trailer, not her back necessarily, but like from, the upper torso up, just her coming on to him and everything and letting moviegoers know there's going to be sex in this. So, yeah, the intimacy was bad. It didn't make sense. There wasn't enough story. There wasn't enough physical storytelling in this to make it make sense. And I mean, why does he suddenly like boof in the end?
Right.
I don't get it. Let's see. I think, yeah, that's really it. It stop pushing non-consensual love stories. Like we
Edict.
Edict. Yeah, sometimes they're sexy in period dramas, but there's still a problem there too. So just stop it.
Stop it. We agree. Stop it. All right, we are up against a time crunch, so needle drop forest time. They spent all of the money on Surfing USA.
Yeah, they did.
Like, that's literally the only song in this movie that anyone's ever heard. But I will say that I love Win at the end. I love the "You sure don't look like your grandma" werewolf song that they're playing at the dance, which is all about Little Red Riding Hood, which is kind of amazing. The soaring like love theme at the end, I like that too. I think they're really serviceable 80s music needle drops. But the Surfing USA thing does make the car surfing scene kind of fun. Like, it's dumb, but when I was a kid, I was like, that's great. Like, that looks awesome. You know, like this Beach Boys songs.
This was pure those were guys. Music. You mentioned that it kind of sounded like Fletch in the orchestral.
There's a little Faltermeyer-ness to it, yeah.
So, yeah, I have nothing more to add to that. Like, I mean, I think they missed an opportunity for some other werewolf-themed music to be in this, but, you know, the budget is tight. I think their budget was only $4 million.
It was real low. Yeah. And this whole thing, let's just get into what else time. Because this whole movie, it was filmed in 21 days. Like, they started production in November of 1984, and they were done by December. So it was all done real fast, and it had to be done fast because Michael J. Fox he only had time to shoot it because Meredith Baxter Birney, his mom on Family Ties, was on maternity leave.
Shout outs to maternity leave.
Yeah, it got us Teen Wolf. And God bless it. But literally right down the street at the same time as Teen Wolf, they were ramping up production on Back to the Future, starring Eric Stoltz.
Yeah.
And so much so right down the street that Scott's house is the same house as George McFly's house.
Wow.
Like, it's the exact same spot. So Michael J. Fox is like, I'm playing this fucking werewolf movie, and there's this Spielberg's doing awesome shit down the street, and ne'er the twain shall meet, apparently. But like, they fired Eric Stoltz in January and replaced him with Michael J. Fox, who was such a big star on Family Ties. They couldn't let him out of shooting Family Ties. So he had to like shoot Family Ties in the morning and Back to the Future in the evening and on the weekends. And he was just running this crazy schedule for like this whole, from like January to April. And it, because of the recasting, it pushed Back to the Future's release date back, but amazingly not that far, because Back to the Future was released in July and they weren't done shooting it in April. Like, that is a crazy amount of time to get a movie with special effects done in theaters. But because Back to the Future was such a massive success, they held Teen Wolf until afterwards.
Yeah.
And so Teen Wolf gets this huge Back to the Future bump. And that's literally the only reason that any of us have ever seen Teen Wolf. Fair. Like, it was so popular. Yeah. I mean, and they rode the wave of Back to the Future to the point where Teen Wolf became like a modest hit, like way more than what it cost to make. It spawned a sequel. It spawned a sequel TV show 25 years later, which I never watched. All of my Teen Wolf lore exists. It stops when he's hugging Boof in the bleachers at the end. But it's crazy. Like, all of the shit that was going on for Michael J. Fox in 1984, 1985, and that Teen Wolf is part of it, is Double Jeff's Kiss.
For my what else, I want to address what Urban Dictionary has educated me about boof.
Oh, okay.
Boof. I don't even know. Yeah. I don't understand this nickname. I didn't understand it watching it. I'm like, okay, I get you hate women for the fact that you're calling this character boof. I don't get it.
Although, before you tell us what it means, apparently this was the real name of his high school girlfriend, the writer. Based it off of her.
Cool. I don't like it. Maybe I need to talk to this writer and be like, why were they calling her boof?
Right. All right. So tell me what boof means, because I don't know it.
So there are two definitions. One, to insert your drug of choice into your rectum to take advantage of the higher absorption rates found there as opposed to the stomach.
Okay. All right. I feel like that was not invented in the 80s, but go ahead. I like it.
And then the other is something of low quality, something very unappealing, which I'm like, great, I get it. You hate boof too. So I don't think this writer liked his high school girlfriend.
I wonder if shitty people made boof mean that because they thought that the character like was a lesser chick than
maybe. And
like maybe it's not the other, maybe it's the other way around. Like the movie came first and then people shit on the word, you know?
It could be, and we will never know. But it's just, I was like, why are they calling this girl boof? So yeah, that's my what else, is just the finding out what boof means. Granted, it's chicken or the egg. We don't know which came first, but It's not great.
It's a rough connotation.
It is.
Yeah, it's pretty rough. Okay. Is this anyone's defining role?
I hope not.
There are at least 3 people for whom this is their defining role, I think.
Maybe boof. I think boof. The women, unfortunately, it is. Because I have not seen anything else. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll say Styles. 100% this is that guy's defining role in a good way. Because he's a lot of fun in this movie. He is an energy bomb. Yeah. He's a total clown. But that's like the whole point. Did at the end of this movie, were you like, I like Styles? Because I kind of do.
Fine. Like, I'll be honest. No one really, it was hard. This movie was hard to like for me. I was just, this is nuts. I think I liked the viewing more, like the company, the viewing and how we were viewing it way more than I liked the movie itself.
I get that. In large part because you were with me, and who doesn't love that?
Exactly.
Also, it's not his defining role because Pee-wee's Big Adventure exists, but this is like 1A for Chubbs.
Sure.
You know,
and I guess J. Fox is Marty McFly.
Yeah. He's definitely not this. But I do think there's a few people who this is definitely Styles' defining role.
Sure.
You know. I've seen this more than I've seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure. It's not a better movie. I feel like you've not seen Pee-wee's Big Adventure. Like your reaction every time I bring it up is like, this is a thing I've heard of.
I've seen half of it. Pee-wee Herman freaked me out as a kid. I was like, this man freaks me out.
Yeah. Okay. Fair.
Yeah. I think I quit it halfway through because I was just like, this is scaring me.
Gotcha. No, he gets his bike back.
Oh, thank God.
Okay. Is this basketball coach the best coach you've ever seen?
No, this is the least. This is the least on so many levels. This is the least werewolf movie I have ever seen.
I don't know. Look, this guy chews gum while eating fried chicken. Like that's a straight baller move. Scott, I almost called him Marty again. Scott comes in to ask him for advice, and he's like, look, you got a job. Like, you should loan me money. And like, this happened before, but that guy's a third stringer. I didn't need him. What the fuck? He just played. But no, I need you on the team. Like, we gotta lose a lot of games by 25 points, Scott. and then, he gives Scott the greatest advice that anyone has ever given anyone in a sports movie. 3 rules to live by. 1, never get less than 12 hours sleep. No notes. 2, don't play cards with anyone who has the same first name as a city. Solid advice. 3, never get involved with a woman with a tattoo of a dagger on her arm. Follow those rules, you're golden. Like, that guy has, for whatever you want to say about him, he has a defined perspective on the world. He has a defined worldview.
Yep.
And he is out there just living that life. Just coaching his team, I guess. Kind of. Roll the ball out. Go get him. Also, dagger on her arm. No.
Sounds fun to me.
Yeah. But, if you don't know what you're getting into, I do feel like you're asking for trouble.
Sure. Maybe not on a first date. Test the waters.
Yeah. The other what else I have is it's possible this movie ruined blondes for me.
Good.
Maybe
sorry. I'm so sorry, blondes. That was mean.
Maybe part of the reason that I'm such a brunette fan is, yes, there's Daisy Duke and Wonder Woman and Erin Gray from Battlestar Galactica, or from Buck Rogers. There's all of those that predate this. But what this movie teaches me is that the blonde doesn't really like you. She's only with you if you are, if you can do something for her in a popularity, or you're super skilled or whatever. The blonde is fickle and leave you at a heartbeat or cheat on you in front of your face. You don't want any part of this blonde. What you really want is that cute little brunette back there.
Yep.
She's cuter than the blonde. She likes you. She likes you for who you are. She's putting up with you even when you're a big, hairy, nobody jerk. Maybe that's where you should focus your attention. So it's possible that this movie did a whole lot for me under the surface.
And it's just another area of this film where Hollywood is trying to tell us something that is probably not true.
Probably not true. Yeah, I'm sure that there are blondes out there who are not like Pamela. But also, did I think this is what high school parties were like? Maybe, kind of.
Probably.
Is this what I thought backstage after rehearsal was like? Maybe, kind of.
Oh my God.
What did I know? I was 9.
That's horrifying. You were just hanging out after rehearsal waiting for... Is she going to show up in a towel? Nope. Oh, okay. Yeah. I've been here 3 hours.
Somebody has to get changed back here, and I want to watch.
Like families do.
Well, true.
I'm
really
good. Done.
All right. What is this the EST of for you?
Just the least werewolfy of films. This is the least relatable teen movie I have ever seen.
Yeah. I wrote down it's the tamest werewolf story.
Absolutely.
Because there's just nobody getting their arms ripped off. Nothing. Nobody's dying in the middle of the night. Nothing. Also, this is the worst basketball that's ever been put on film, as previously discussed.
Yeah.
It's a mess. But that don't mean that Teen Wolf isn't worth watching a lot, because I have.
Boy, go for it. Go on with your bad self.
I know. So everybody go back and watch Teen Wolf. It's totally worth it. It's totally great. It's not. But it's not nothing. This Teen Wolf movie.
It's something.
It is something. All right. So I think once again we have proven my theory, Cheesemeisters, that everything comes back to Aaron Spelling.
Even Teen Wolf.
Even Teen Wolf. Sure don't look like your grandma. So join us here on Wednesday, Cheesemeisters, when we will be watching Season 4, Episode 8, 20 years ago today, which Leslie's looking forward to talking about. And join us here next Friday when we watch a much different kind of movie. We are going to watch Tombstone. So I'm quite excited about this. It's right around the time that 20 years ago today aired, about a month before Tombstone came out. So
nice.
Timing wise, it's good. And it lets us not focus on some of the silly shit that happens in this episode.
Yeah.
Can't wait. It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to talk about.
Oh, it will.
Yeah, because it's a good one. It's better than Teen Wolf. Less hairy.
Yeah.
So, all right. But until then, Cheesemeisters.
Cheers.
Cheers.